I know. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We're here.
We are here. Takes it just a second.
I don't think you hit it.
It's got it. There we go.
Okay, we are here.
We are here.
And we're not upstairs.
No, not at all.
We're not upstairs because it's raining so hard you couldn't hear us. And you can't hear the rain in here in the bedroom downstairs.
That's right.
So as I was getting woke up, I realized that we're going to have to come up with some different plans on this January the 27th at 8:05 a.m.
So we are in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Don't have a pretty background, solid white.
That's okay. We kind of, as I was looking, I was trying to figure out what it resembles, and it's just not pretty.
Oh, nothing on the wall right there.
Nothing on the wall, but we got coffee, so
we do got our coffee.
We're
mine's
good to go.
Mine's on the nightstand. The computer's actually on the bed. And I brought you a little table.
On a stack of books.
Yeah, the computer's on the bed on a stack of books. We made it happen.
We made it happen. Yeah, I woke up several times during the night and I thought to myself, what are we going to do if it's pouring down rain in the morning and we can't do the live upstairs?
Yeah.
Well, Jason was obviously thinking the same thing subconsciously.
Now, I saw Mr. John say the milk room. I actually thought about the milk room, but y'all was raining so hard outside for us to get from that to the vehicle and then drive over there. For we would get soaking wet and the computer would get soaking wet. So
yeah,
that's the reason why I decided to do it here.
Well, it worked out.
It worked out. But that was my first plan was the milk room. It still would have been semi-loud in there.
Yeah.
But
it's quiet in here. You wouldn't even know it's raining.
Yes, we're quiet in here.
Thankfully. So what's going on today?
Woo!
You got big plans.
I do got big plans this morning.
What are you doing?
I'm going over to Petals from the Past this morning and listen to our dear friend Tracy at Just Dig It Farm. She is teaching a class on potager garden design.
Yeah, we could still use some tips because ours isn't completed yet. So
not at all.
So Jason's going to go over to that, and I'm going to hold the house down. Right?
That's right. I hope it don't rain too hard over there. That little barn can get kind of loud too.
Yes, it can. It'll be just like our barn.
Yeah. There she is. There's Tracy now.
Tracy, you getting ready?
She said she's getting ready.
Good deal. Jason's excited to go see what you have to say because it's always educating and interesting.
And my buddy Zach from Head Family Farm is going to be there as well. So
and Catherine from G&G is going to go
see everybody this morning.
That's right. Well, not we. You.
Well, I mean, I'm going to.
Yeah.
You're not the gardener.
I'm not the gardener.
Which I just realized this when I told you Zach was going to the listen to Tracy speak, and I realized this would be the second or third time that I've met Zach over there.
Oh, really?
And I told you, I said, you know what? Zach's the gardener of their family.
That's right.
And it just never dawned on me that Zach's the gardener, but Zach is the gardener over there.
Well, Jacqueline will get his plots ready just like I'll get yours ready.
That's right.
And it's kind of an opposite role. Usually the woman is the gardener and the man is the prepper, but not the case in this family or their family.
Yeah, isn't that something? But that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun because it is getting close to gardening time.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's almost February 1st and you're needing to start thinking about starting seeds.
That's right. So I do want to tell you guys this because I think it slips your mind because it almost slipped mine and I do it every year.
Right.
It is time. Well, we're in zone 8. So I don't know about 7, 6, 5, anything below 8. Zone 9 and 8, it's time to be thinking about starting seeds. If you're going to start from seed. If you're not going to start from seed, then you can buy your plants later on down the road. But if you are starting from seed, then now it is time to start getting your seeds. Start looking and ordering, Jason, and that kind of thing.
Think about it. if you're not in zone 8 or 9
Yeah.
and you're later on down the road, you still need to start thinking about your seeds, because those people in 8 or 9 are going to possibly buy so many that
That's
they
true.
may be sold out on
That's
down
true.
the road.
I didn't think about that, but that is true.
So wherever you get your seeds from, you need to start planting. Of course, we get ours from Hoss Tools.
Right.
And locally owned. Well, not locally owned, but they're a mom and pop
That's right.
business over in Georgia, and we just love them.
That's right. So I went ahead and got my seeds this year. I ordered them this week, and they came in. Hoss shipping is crazy because it's like they're there in a day or two, especially because we're in Alabama,
Right,
and in Georgia.
So,
I went ahead and ordered them seeds, and I was going to let you guys know what we are going to grow this year. And I got them right behind me.
Uh-oh.
I'm not upstairs. So I got close quarters.
He might fall trying to do this, or the computer might fall. Something might happen.
Who knows? But I am changing things up. I am learning as I go in this area. Different than where we were. And also, a lot of my garden in the past depended on Mary Carl because she liked certain things. But now she's starting where she doesn't care for certain things as much. And one, I've always grown cucumbers. But last year, I don't think she ate a single cucumber. And the only reason I grew cucumbers in the past was because of Mary Carl.
And they produce like crazy. So if somebody doesn't eat them, then you've got so many cucumbers that are going to waste that.
Well, and we have pickled them in the past, but I still think we probably got 10 or 15 jars of pickles left from the ones in the past. And I tried selling them on
I was fixing to say that. Tried selling them at the roadside stand and
nobody bought them.
Seemed like nobody else liked pickles either.
The only thing we sold,
cucumbers.
The only thing we sold on the roadside stand were tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
That's it. That's it.
And
tomatoes.
Of course, eggs.
And eggs. So I'm changing things up a little bit this year, and I'm not going to grow near as much in quantity either.
Well, there was something that you grew at the old farm that I missed. And you did go back to that, which I'm glad.
What was that?
Something that will overwinter in our pantry.
Oh, the winter squash.
Yes.
Yep. I am going to do winter squash. I was trying to think something else. I'm not going to do eggplants this year.
No, they just seem to.
We all wanted to do eggplants, and we grew them, and I think they didn't do well for one because the summers got so crazy. And then the couple that we did produce, we ate them, but I could tell that it just wasn't people's favorites.
And just because something doesn't do well for us doesn't mean it won't do well for you.
Yeah.
So if you're a first-time gardener, and you want to try it, don't let us deter you from trying something that you're gung-ho to grow.
That's right. So, gosh, I was fixing to say something. I forgot what it was. I've never been able to grow eggplants well. It's crazy, and I'm in a different location, so it's not so. Just never been able to grow eggplants well. Don't know what it is. There's certain things that I seem to be able to do okay with, and certain things that I don't. So this year, because I know every year when I do this, a lot of you guys want to know what we're growing. And of course, tomatoes, that's our favorite. I did change up a little bit this year on tomatoes. I always grow Bella Rosa, but this year I'm swapping the Bella Rosa out for the new Celebrity. Is a real good tomato, but I'm doing the new Celebrity Plus, which is a new one that just came out. That's supposed to be even more disease resistant and that kind of thing, pest resistant. So I'm doing the Celebrity Plus, and our biggest thing here, y'all, we have super high humidity. So blight, funguses, that kind of thing is what knocks us out here. So we have to grow certain tomatoes that can resist that. We have a really hard time growing heirloom tomatoes. We just do. Our humidity is so bad that you'll get very few tomatoes, and it's usually a novelty thing here in the South.
Well, the thing is that the old heirlooms don't have that buildup of resistance for the diseases that are now prevalent, whereas those hybrids have been built to withstand some of that.
Yeah, and the hybrids have come a long ways now. The used to a hybrid was production, and the flavor was terrible. But now it is the flavor is there now in the hybrids.
Right.
So
they can rival those heirlooms.
They can. And they're doing them where they even look like heirloom tomatoes. Like this is the one Mr. Greg over there at Hoss Tools told me to get, and that is the Berkeley tie-dyed pink tomato. So I'm growing this one.
It's going to be pretty.
It's going to be pretty. And I wanted to do some different color tomatoes this year. So I'm doing a Chef's Choice Orange, which is, what do they call it? An AAS winner, which means it's got incredible flavor. And then I'm doing my all-time favorite now, which is the Red Snapper.
Can't forget that Red Snapper.
This one's actually taken over the Bella Rosa. I love the Red Snapper. They're huge. They produce a ton of tomatoes, and they're almost bulletproof.
Oh.
So, anyways, that's my tomatoes. Oh, and I usually do the Sun Gold, but this year I'm switching it up, and I'm going to do the Sun Sugar.
Now, what's the difference?
I don't know. This people love the Sun Sugar just as much as they love the Sun Gold. So I thought I'll just do something a little different.
Well, we can't not have a little cherry type tomato.
Right.
We gotta have it.
I am going to do winter squash.
This is what I'm excited about.
We love spaghetti squash.
You can do so much with that. It gets like overlooked.
And we also are going to do a butternut squash, which is another one that we love.
I remember when you grew those, I came up with a recipe. Well, I didn't come up with it.
Boats.
I actually saw the recipe the other day where we hollowed out the squash and we filled it with goodness, ground beef, cheese, all kind of different.
It was good.
It was
so good.
And it cooked in that squash, and you actually ate the squash too.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful, and it was good for you.
Miss Barb said that the Sun Gold skin's a little thicker.
Oh, okay.
So that's the difference. We're also doing summer squash. Can't forget summer squash. Gentry, which is just a yellow crookneck squash that we all love. And we're doing a zucchini.
Can't forget that zucchini.
Just a zucchini. This is the one Mary Carl loves because she'll eat zucchini bread by the loaves.
Yeah.
She will.
And you can cook it in so many different ways and add it to meals and then do it as a side. So that comes in handy.
Mm-hmm. Also, I didn't do this last year, but we are going to do a pole bean, which we did at our other farm every year. And I'm trying, this is a new one. This is Hoss's own pole bean right here. And the reviews were incredible about this. So that's why I went with this one. And I did butter beans or lima beans at the old farm a couple of years. And so this year we're going to try the King of the Garden lima bean, which Mary Carl absolutely loves lima beans.
Well, we all enjoy eating all types of beans.
Yes.
So I think that will not go unused. Plus, we've got our handy dandy granddaddy pea sheller.
That's right.
Not for those, but I guess it could shell
you
butter
can shell
beans.
the butter beans. Those will be snaps, but we'll shell those. Of course, we're going to do the Cog Hill Farm Sunflower Collection right here.
Can't go wrong with that.
And that's right. And
bees and butterflies.
We got bees and butterflies.
Oh, you got to turn around.
Well, I bought some bulk seeds.
Y'all look at this. The box came in, and the box was like, I mean, literally this big.
Yeah.
And I told Justin, I said, my gracious, you must be planning on planting a massive garden. And he said, well, I got some things in quantity. And once he pulled it out, I saw what he was talking about.
Well, I'm going to do a lot of cover crops this year in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover crops are going to be
for the bees.
Focused on pollinators. So we learned last year this super bee.
Valencia.
Facilia? Is that how you say it? Facilia? I don't know how you say
it. I acted confident in the way I said it.
The super bee Facilia. I think that's how you say it. Y'all, you should have seen the bees it brought in.
It was crazy.
I mean, it was unreal.
It was crazy. You got near and you could literally hear the buzzing.
And it was all the local bees too.
Yeah, it wasn't just honey bees. I mean, it wasn't our local bees necessarily. It was It was
The
those
native bees.
yeah, those bumblebees that you don't see very many of that also need to thrive and do well.
So what I'll do with that is we got several plots out there. We're not going to garden all of them. So on those large plots, I'll just do a whole area of that one cover crop.
Which is, I think, a wonderful idea.
The other one is I've got 10 pounds of black oil sunflower seeds. And you guys know we've been doing this every year since we've been here. So we'll do another huge area of those, and those will be pollinator friendly.
And not only that, but they'll be beautiful.
They'll be beautiful.
And that super bee is beautiful too.
It is beautiful. And then this one I did at the other farm from time to time. I haven't done it here yet, but this one is for the pollinators as well and makes a great summer cover crop. And that is buckwheat. So I got a big bag of buckwheat, 10 pounds of buckwheat.
That'll be interesting to see what kind of response we get out of the pollinators on the buckwheat.
Since we had such a great year of growing these,
I'm going to have to get my pea picking pants on.
I got 10 pounds of pink eye purple hull peas.
We still are using peas.
Yes.
From last summer. We're getting slim, but to have those peas available to where we freeze dry them, all we've got to do is put them in a pot and rehydrate them has been wonderful.
That's right.
It's been wonderful. And that's going to carry on into next year. We just may have to go and get some help to pick them. That's a lot of peas.
So this is the start. We may change stuff up. We may try to grow some of those cute fancy pumpkins.
Right.
But that'll be kind of midsummer. July. Yeah. Before I plant those, or early summer.
Plus we've got the areas where, well, Moody and the boys are still in there, but that plot's going to be empty, once they move out. So it's fenced in. If we want to grow watermelons in that entire area, we can do that.
That's right.
Or pumpkins in the next one, we can do that.
That's right.
We won't have to worry about our dogs getting in there and stepping on them or whatnot because it's fenced in.
That's right. Will I plant any zinnias? Yeah, I got zinnia seeds carried over. So I will plant zinnias up this year's too. And I saw somebody asking about GMO seeds. Any home gardener will never buy a GMO seed. They're only for commercial purposes. GMO seeds are for like these huge farms, and y'all, they are crazy expensive, like nothing you've never seen before. So, I mean, thousands of dollars for GMO seed. So home gardeners will never, ever buy a GMO seed. So don't ever worry about that. And a lot of seed companies will put non-GMO as a marketing scheme, to make you think, but they're all home gardeners will buy nothing but non-GMO seeds. So don't let that worry you.
Okay. Well, I learned something new.
Yeah, and I remember it too when the GMO craze came out, and we were all worried. Everybody's worried, but come to find out that they're GMO seeds are commercial only, so you won't have to worry about that.
Well, that's a good thing. So I'm just here to talk about what I like to eat, not anything else.
I saw somebody ask were my tomatoes indeterminate or determinate. The only thing that will be indeterminate, unless I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure the sun goals or the sun sugars will be the only indeterminate I'm growing. Everything else will be determinate.
Why don't you tell people what that means?
That means, and this is the way I remember it, is that determinate means you're determined to know when you're going to pick. That makes sense. So these tomatoes will produce kind of all at one time, sort of, kind of, and then it kind of just quits after that point. Indeterminate tomato will just keep producing all year long. So it'll keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
And that's one reason we had so many of the sun golds, because they kind of like never stopped.
Yep, that's right.
So that's a good thing. And it's also, it's personal preference as to how you want to do it.
Yep. Usually it's just easier for us to grow the determinants because they don't get so big and out of whack.
Right.
That's the reason why I like growing them. So.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Speaking of bees and such, I talked to Rachel, who is our, beekeeper, honey lady, nectar ninja. And she was talking about needing to come over the first part of next week. And she said, can't do it till the first part of next week because we're loading up bees to send to California
Mm-hmm.
to pollinate the almonds.
Yes.
And what they do every year, which I'm sure there are lots of beekeepers that are doing this, but they
It's a lot of
create
beekeepers.
hives and send them to California where there is a lack of bees to pollinate the almonds. Almonds have to have a bee to pollinate
Correct.
or they can't produce.
Correct.
And so those almond farmers truck in these bees and allow that to create their crop.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the almond growing season, the bees go back to wherever they came from and they just kind of rent them out for the year. But they were in the process of getting their truck ready to take the bees to California, along with lots of others, to get those almonds pollinated.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, it was to me too. I thought to myself, I wish I could get over there and talk to you and make a video about it, because it's so interesting to me to find out about how that works. Because they got to have them.
That's right.
They got to have them. And there's not enough bees to pollinate them. They have to truck them in.
You got to truck them in. And they do that. That's big too. They bring them in. But that's it for now on the gardening.
On the gardening, that's it. Well, I had hoped to get some tarps over there by the bees and get the plants growing behind there. But bees travel such a distance that being in the garden is no different to them than being out their back door, out their front door.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about where our crops are on our property. 40 acres is nothing for a bee to travel. I mean, it could be anywhere on our property and they would find it.
Right.
So not being right there with the bees is not an issue.
No, not at all. Not an issue at all. Gosh, I saw a question I was fixing to answer and I can't remember what it is now. I should have wrote it down.
You should have.
Oh, somebody suggested that, and we did talk about this, when we move Moody and the boys, that we could use that to plant stuff in. And we have talked about that. All those pastures over there.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Wherever Gus and Loretta's not, we can put
pumpkins, watermelons, whatever.
All in those pastures. And
things that go crazy would be a good idea.
It really would.
We wouldn't have to worry about it invading garden space or chicken space or whatever. And it could, it should just do its thing.
I had corn in the cart, but I almost pulled the trigger for corn. But I thought, I just don't know what it's going to be. I just don't want to have too much.
Yeah.
So I backed off the corn. So can you freeze dry tomatoes? Yeah, we did that last year.
We did. We did that last year, and they have came in. Well, they're gone now. We used all those pretty quick. We just did one load of freeze dried tomatoes. We did green ones as well as red ones, and they were rehydrated beautifully. You wouldn't know you weren't eating a fresh tomato. Yep.
Somebody's wanting to know. I see several people wanting to know about what I use for pest control. I do a 3-part system. Actually, it's 4. But spinosad, BT, and pyrethrin are the 3 I use. They are organic, and I rotate them each week. So one week I'll use one, the next week I'll use one, and the next week I'll use the other. And I do neem oil every week, and I just rotate that out. And it works. I mean, it works for the most part.
As long as you stay ahead of it, right?
You got to stay ahead of it. If you want to do organic pest control, you have to stay on top of it, because once you get an infestation, organic pest control will not work. It's too late.
So staying on a schedule.
Staying on a schedule. Did you see that lightning?
I thought that's what that was.
For those coming in late, we are in the bedroom because it's raining so hard that we cannot hear well, or y'all couldn't hear us well upstairs. So we are in
There's
the bedroom.
Thunder.
Yep.
The thunder comes behind that lightning. You know how far away it is. Sounds like it's a good ways away, doesn't it?
It does.
I looked out the window just a minute ago as I let Dee Dee back in, and Rocky and Bandit are laying out in the mud in the front yard as it's raining. I don't get it. I don't get it.
The pond, it has gone up. We've gotten around 3.5 inches of rain since that video I put out. But yesterday, it just kind of sprinkled off and on. So it wasn't that bad. Today is supposed to be the big day.
We're supposed to get a lot of rain.
To get a lot of rain today. It's been raining since last night. I can't see the rain gauge from here. But anyways, today is supposed to be the big day, and it's supposed to rain all day long. Now, this system, I think, is the one that the Texans have been warning us about that's coming through. So today will be the day that I will know if the pond overflows or not. And, I think the pond's going to be okay. But you know what stays in the back of my mind?
What?
Is when we lived at the old farm. I don't think we had a YouTube channel yet. When the newly built pond down the road from us, their dam broke loose.
Yeah.
And all that water came washing in.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
So I just think about that. And so that just stays in the back of your mind.
Well, it doesn't stay in my mind. So just ease your mind to know that the worst thing that might happen is a duck might go over the top of the dam.
I don't think that'll happen. I think the pipe will handle
catch it all.
I really do.
Mr. Greg knows what he's doing, so I have not much doubt that.
My thinking is it's not going to go. It's going to rise like that and then go out that pipe, and the pipe will keep it.
It's not like we can go grab some buckets and take the water somewhere else before it does go overboard.
That's right.
So let's hope it holds and all is well. We need the rain, but
I tell you what, we went from not having any rain almost the entire year last year, or was scarce.
Yeah, because look at our pond; it was nothing
till the past 2 months. We have gotten oodles of rain in 2 months.
That's right.
It's crazy.
I saw one of the comments on. I didn't read very many, but when I clicked on your video, somebody said, "Do you wish that you had waited until this rain came before you put your well in?" Well, it wouldn't have mattered because we would have had to supplementally fill that pond.
Yeah.
There's no way it could rain enough to fill that pond.
Because it's going to go down.
It's going to go down because the ground is getting saturated.
It's got to get saturated. It's got to hit either clay or rock is what I've been told. So that water table is going to hit to a point. That's what Jason at Pedals told me too. Okay. He said that they got rock under theirs. And he said it took several years for it to hit that rock bed. And now, on a normal year, it always stays full.
And y'all, our power bill is not being affected very much at all.
Yeah.
I
was worried.
By running the well pump. And Jason at Pedals told you that you probably wouldn't have an issue with your power bill. And it's very minute.
It is. It's not bad at all.
So we don't feel bad about having to worry about the supplemental electricity cost. Our well guy, he was not interested in putting in solar. He didn't feel that he was confident enough in installing that. And plus the cost up front to get somebody else to come in to put a pump that was solar operated would have been off the charts for us.
I got my doctor, who's also a friend of mine. He's into solar big time, and he gets into hobbies, and that's his hobby right now is solar. Or was the last time I talked to him?
Yeah, it's probably changed.
It could change. But he's been hardcore into solar, and he told me that to him I would not get my return on investment on going solar on the well pump. So that's another reason why we didn't do it.
And we're in Alabama, where every state is different as far as how solar works.
Yes, we're not solar friendly.
We're not a solar friendly state, and I know that's hard for y'all to understand. But
what do we hear the other day? That somebody was going to go solar,
and the power company
was going to charge them back
16 cents a kilowatt to go solar.
It's usually the opposite in solar friendly states. They buy that power back from you. But here, the power company was going to charge them for that power that they were putting back into the grid. So that shows you that we're not a solar-friendly state.
No, unfortunately. So many things could benefit from running off the sun, which, well, we hadn't seen in a few days, but it's coming back. Oh, man. Somebody said, "Where's Tucker?" I don't know why that caught my eye. Tucker's here. Tucker's fine. Tucker hangs out with the boys, and actually she's probably in the garage right now because she goes in the garage at night, and that's where she sleeps. She's got a bed in there, and she gets let out in the morning. She's got a litter box, and Tucker and Pink and Sylvester and Biscuit and Bramble, they're all good.
They're all good.
All the cats are doing well.
Yep. I guess because we go to the barn so much and you see those three.
Yeah.
Even if I go into the pasture, Biscuit and Sylvester will be
We'll
out in
follow
the
you.
pasture. Bramble's a hunter. Bramble is a hunter, but I guess you see those all the time. That when we do show the other cats, that,
It makes you think something happened to
yeah,
them.
I could see that.
Tucker will get on the side by side
Mhm.
and ride, and she'll ride about halfway to the barn and she jumps off.
Yep.
She doesn't want to go to the barn. She wants to stay. Well, now she'll go to the old barn. She'll ride to the old barn with
But she
me,
won't stay.
But she won't stay. She gets off as soon as she gets there and heads back home.
She's like, this isn't my place. This isn't my territory. So,
but I will tell y'all
Yep.
this.
Mhm.
So I went in the old barn the other day, which I go down there every day to take care of Pink, make sure she's okay, food, water. And as I opened the door, I saw Mort, who used to be our cat. My mama stole him. And Mort and Pink, I think, are friends. He's, of course, neutered. She's, of course, spayed. So there's no hanky-panky going on.
Right.
But to see him inside that barn, I scared him, and he took off. But I thought to myself, wonder how often he comes down here and visits with her.
There's no telling.
Because she didn't tell me.
There's no telling.
But she loves her barn. I mean, you can go down there just about any time of day, and she's going to be either in that barn or right around the outside of it. You know, we've tried to. When we lived at the old farm, Mama decided Pink needed to be an inside cat. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
And so she felt bad for Pink because she was down there all alone, which we knew she wanted to be alone. She wants to be alone.
She's 100% barn cat.
She's a loner.
I see it.
And so Mama got her, and we put her on the side by side, and we took her up to the house. And she wasn't in that house 3 minutes before Mama said, she don't want to be in here.
She don't want to be.
She don't want to be in here. She wants to be outside.
Yep.
And I mean, she loves us.
Right.
But she loves her being alone.
She's a barn cat. Not everybody wants to be a house cat.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
I couldn't see Bramble being a house cat.
Well, you know what I noticed yesterday is we put collars on all three cats.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were the easy breakaway collars. Almost immediately, Brambles disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Next to follow was Biscuits. I have yet to find either of those collars. So yesterday I noticed Sylvester's collar's now missing.
I found it.
Oh, you did?
I put it on the it's on the counter.
Well, he lasted quite a while with his collar.
Yep.
And that tells me he doesn't make his rounds as much as Bramble and Biscuit do.
Yep.
He's a
mess.
He is a mess.
He's a mess.
They're all three a mess. And I wouldn't trade any of them. But I also don't want to mess up that bond that they have in their different ways. You know.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't add another cat to that mix or whatever because they're just perfect. They all get along. They
all do get along.
You're not going to see them all three cuddled up together. It's not like they're inseparable, but they are.
You will see, and I've seen it. I've seen Biscuit and Sylvester cuddled up together.
Biscuit and Sylvester are more bonded.
Bramble.
Not Bramble.
Not Bramble.
Bramble is he's one of a kind.
He's
very elusive. You don't see him as much as you see those other two.
That's right.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay.
We know they're safe. They're being fed. They're watered, and they're warm.
They're warm.
They're warm because they go in that milk room where we have the heat on when it's cold outside.
I saw somebody ask about the shirts. How'd the shirts go? Have you done anything with the shirts?
Well, I didn't wear it straight out of the freezer. I let it thaw out first. But here's one that I did change colors.
I don't know if they can see it or
not. No, I started to wear it, and you wear a white one.
Well, the light we use too is that
unbutton
warm
your top button. This is a good one, right?
Boom, chicka, boom, boom.
You can see. Maybe you can see the difference of the white and the yellow.
It's really yellow.
But I took them out of the washer and I just hung them up. And I'm in limbo about what to do. I mean, they're not so bad you couldn't wear them.
No, they actually, since they've dried, they've gotten a little whiter.
A little whiter.
Yeah.
Well, regardless.
Plus, you only see this little bit.
Yeah, that's all you see. But you can see the difference in the.
I'm not doing the. You know.
I did that yesterday. I had my flannel on and I was hot and cold and I just left a couple of buttons undone.
Oh, me.
I haven't done anything else to it. I haven't tried to put any of that Mrs. Blue's whiting. Is that what it was called?
That was, and I saw somebody, and I think you said this too, but somebody sent us an email and said, what happens is that when you bleached it, it took it.
The
it
elasticity.
No, they said that they're basically maybe dyed white.
Oh.
And when you bleached it, it took the white dye out.
And made this the organic cotton color again?
Yes. And that you may get, and they said it was some type of bright white made by
RIT.
So
I have to check that out.
I don't know.
Well, regardless, they still feel good.
They do.
I hate I ruined them.
It's okay.
We didn't put them in the freezer, and I did read a lot of comments that said their grandparents or their parents, when they, had clothes that they intended on ironing, that they would put them in the freezer until they had a chance to iron them.
So my idea wasn't too bad off, was it?
I guess not.
You could put it in there with the onions.
Listen to this. So I heard on with the onion. We made those, by the way. I heard on the radio the other day that said, if you're staying in a hotel and you're going to iron your clothes, then make sure you look at the iron and check it out first. And I'm thinking, why? We all get the black stuff on our iron periodically.
Oh, I ain't think about that.
Well, that's not what they were talking about.
They're talking about the mildew stuff in the
No,
water?
listen to this,
okay.
y'all. They said because people that don't have a microwave in their hotel room tend to use an iron to heat up pizza slices.
I was going to say grilled cheese, but a pizza slice.
Oh, my gracious. Can you imagine? I would have never thought about using an iron to heat up a pizza slice. I thought that was a little bizarre. But I guess if you were in a real pickle... But I would at least wipe the iron off if I did that. Wouldn't you?
Pizza slice.
Heat up a pizza slice with an iron.
I guess you could do toast.
Jason, don't get any ideas.
You could warm up those frozen t-shirts.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
It'd take a while.
Oh, me.
So we did make the Big Macs that we were talking about.
We did. Or you did. I didn't.
On the keto, we're not following a strict keto diet. I am trying to minimize carbs.
Carbs and sugar.
Yep. And I don't think that I've had anything but a little bit of popcorn this week.
And
I've since quit my popcorn.
Yep.
But what I did was I made the patties in a cast iron skillet, which I love.
Yes.
I love my cast iron skillet. So I made the patties and we used that sugar-free, what's the man's name?
I cannot remember.
Mr. B's or something, secret sauce. And it tastes pretty much like the Big Mac secret sauce.
Yeah.
And some lettuce, and we used those minced onions and hydrated them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people said I could freeze dry my own onions. I've done that before.
Yes.
But we don't currently have any.
Yep.
So I would have to slice them up in little tiny pieces to get those diced McDonald's mimicked onions.
Yep.
Anyway, I didn't have those. So I did the minced onions and it turned out really good.
It did.
It turned out really good. We used the shredded lettuce like they do at McDonald's. And you had cheese on yours and I didn't have any cheese, but I thought it was good.
You're hitting the bed and it's shaking.
Oh.
You don't know you're doing it.
I didn't think I was. I was so excited about that Big Mac.
It was good. And we got them leftover.
Yeah, we do. We have them. What we're going to do with the leftover that I thawed out, the hamburger meat, is we're going to do it as a salad rather than a patty.
Uh-huh.
We're going to ground the beef and put it on a bed of lettuce and put the sauce on it and eat it like a salad versus a patty. So I think I like the patty better.
It was good. It was really good. I was the onion hack, which somebody from McDonald's told you who worked at McDonald's, they were correct. Because if you like those little bitty diced onions that you get on a hamburger, that's it. Just dehydrated onions, and you just rehydrated them.
It's just like it. I mean, it tastes just like.
And that little old jar probably lasts you forever.
I did way too many.
Yeah.
I poured in the bowl
Yeah.
thinking we would use that many, but I overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
And next time I'll know that it makes a lot more than what you think it does.
And Brooks was lettuce wrapped.
Yeah.
Brooks was on lettuce. I was gonna do mine lettuce wrapped because I told her whatever you eat, I'll eat. And she was like, "It's not gonna bother me."
Well, I had
Eat a
already bought
bun.
buns for Mary Carl.
Eat
so
a bun. It's not gonna bother me. I was like, okay, it's not gonna bother you.
it don't bother me. I mean, I really don't eat much bread to begin with.
Really don't.
The only thing that I eat that's carbs that I have a problem getting away from is popcorn, and I haven't had any.
Yeah.
But I don't feel any different either, so I might be
Mhm.
back to my popcorn. I do have a cookie every now and then from Crumble Cookie, and some I like my sweets, but
Yeah.
I haven't had any of those either. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to give it up. Keep trying, right?
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
I haven't heard from my rheumatologist yet. I did reach out to my doctor, and I told her that, well, she told me somebody would reach out to me in 7 to 14 days.
Right.
The 12th was the day that we initially discussed this. So yesterday would have been 14 days. I believe that's right. Anyway, she said that she was copying me in that message as well as rheumatology, and she was going to let them know that nobody has contacted me yet. So I'm still hanging out trying to get in with the rheumatology.
Yep.
But I did rattle them up a little bit and let them know I hadn't been contacted. I mean, there's not much else I can do except tell them nobody's contacted me.
And somebody just said that, and I couldn't see their name because it went by too fast. I didn't mean to. But
No, I was
popcorn.
done.
So we're not carb. What's the word I'm looking for? We're not up to date, or
We're not
in the know.
knowledgeable about the.
So there's something about the carb and fiber ratio
Mhm.
that makes the carbs not so bad.
Mhm.
And I don't know how that works, but somebody just said, and it went by so fast and I couldn't see who it was, but they said that popcorn is really not that bad because of the fiber ratio with the carb.
Mhm. So I'm cleared on popcorn?
I don't, maybe we have to do more research on that, but that's it. So
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody said you can use Thousand Island dressing and sweet pickle relish
and mayonnaise
and ketchup to make that secret sauce. You can.
This secret sauce had zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
And this was from a somebody that was trying to recreate it in a healthy way.
Right.
So. And we're all about the healthy, right?
All about the healthy. Trying to be.
Trying to be. Yeah.
Trying to be.
But I haven't had any problem with, I mean, sandwiches are not my thing. I don't eat bread.
Yep.
Mary Carl could not function without bread.
Yeah. Bread's not a big vice of mine. Mine is potatoes. And I know potatoes has got a lot of carbs in it, but potatoes is my weakness.
Well, I could go and buy her just a loaf of French bread and she'd be satisfied. That could be a meal for her. That's how much she likes bread. Me, not so much. I just don't care if I have it or not.
I like mashed potatoes. I like baked potatoes. I like roasted potatoes. Y'all know this. French fries. So potatoes is will be my weakness. But I don't have to make you cook something just for me. So I'm good. Like last night we had steak and broccoli.
We did. We had steak and broccoli, and it was good.
It was delicious.
It was very good. I don't feel any different in the short amount of time that we've changed our diet, but I don't expect it to be a immediate happening either. That's okay.
That's okay.
Do all I can to try to be better.
So I want to tell you guys about mine and Mary Carl's new movie genre that I can't believe she likes.
Okay.
And that is this week, except last night, this week, we have watched nothing but Westerns.
Westerns.
Old Westerns, new Westerns, and Mary Carl loves them.
That just...
Which I love Westerns too, but I mean, loves them.
That's kind of surprising to me in one way, but then in another way,
it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything that she wouldn't like.
No, probably not. But we have been on a Western kick.
As long as you watch it with her, I think she's satisfied.
I think so too. I'll always ask her every time. I say, "What do you want to watch tonight?" I don't care.
Last night she said, "Daddy, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I'm eating dinner. What are you doing?" And she didn't know if he had to edit or not. She doesn't ever keep up with what day, video goes out or whatever. And she was so excited to find out you didn't have to edit.
I didn't have to edit. Yep. I didn't have to edit. I saw somebody say that we should watch Little House on the Prairie. We got on the Little House on the Prairie kick last year and watched, I don't know how many seasons. Of course, you watch it over and over again, it kind of gets old. So we may bring that back.
Yeah.
Think about that. We may bring that back.
I have a tendency to do that with Mary Carl. If we're watching something and we've watched episode after episode after episode, so many of them, we get kind of burnt out on it. And we stop it and then we end up coming back to it, maybe a year later.
We haven't seen any John Wayne. We have seen some Clint Eastwoods. We did watch Tombstone, which was one of my favorites growing up. I love Tombstone. And we watched some of these newer ones. So there's so many out there. But we got off the Western kick last night because I didn't want us to get burned down on them.
Good idea.
And y'all, I found a movie, and it is probably one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Now, it is rated PG-13, but it was called The Peanut Butter Falcon. And the only reason it caught my eye because it said the word falcon. And I thought, this may be something Mary Carl want to watch. Has nothing to do with a falcon. It's called The Peanut Butter Falcon. It was on Amazon Prime. And y'all, it was a absolutely feel-good movie.
I could hear them laughing upstairs from in here.
Y'all, it was awesome.
I didn't have any idea what they were watching, but afterwards they told me a little bit about it and kind of wished I had watched it, but
you would have loved it. You absolutely would have loved it. It was so good, y'all. They compare it to a modern day Mark Twain. And I can kind of see that, but it is so good. The Peanut Butter Falcon. It's basically a young man that has Down syndrome, and his dream is to become a professional wrestler. And he meets up with a guy that got a little trouble past and is running away from his life. And so they get together. It's just an awesome movie. It really, really is good. It's thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you want a feel-good movie, now it is PG-13, so just keep that in mind. But if you want a feel-good movie that'll make you smile.
I see a lot of people saying they love that movie.
It is. I haven't seen a movie that had made me feel that way in a long time, and that one was just awesome.
Well, those are always good to come and hit you in the heart.
I didn't expect it at all. Did not expect it.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
But we will get back on our Western kick. I saw some people give me some ideas too.
The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Oh gosh, I loved the Apple and Dumpling Gang when I was a kid. We might have to find that one. I'll write that one down.
As y'all know, I haven't seen very many movies. It's not my thing. I enjoy it when I do sit down and watch one. I just can't pull myself to sit down to get concentrated on something. So that's their thing, but that's okay. As long as y'all enjoy it, then Secondhand Lines, I've seen that a lot.
We've seen that one. We've seen Secondhand Lines. I will. Young Guns was another one I saw that would pop up. I will check that out too.
You know how some kids wait on the weekend so they can go like hang out with their friends or go to the bowling alley, or I don't know what kids do these days. Ours waits to hang out with their daddy at night so they can watch a movie. And I hope that never changes, but
Me too.
Because it's something I never wanted to do.
Heartland. I see that. Was that the George Strait movie?
I think so.
It's been a while since I've seen that one.
I never wanted to hang out with my parents. Did you?
Up to a certain point, I'm sure at some point.
Well, I had no choice.
Yep.
until she's 14. She has no way to get away from here. But yeah, I still feel like at her age, I didn't want to hang out with my parents and watch a movie. I'm just happy that that's the case.
I'm writing all these down. No, they said Heartland's a series. Okay, there was a George Strait movie that had the word Heartland in it. I can't remember what it was.
I can't either. I think you and I watched that.
It was a popular. He made a soundtrack. I mean, I love George Strait. I could listen to George Strait every day. I think I could. Has he ever made a bad song?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think George. Pure Country.
Pure Country.
The song was in a Heartland.
That's right.
That's what it was. Pure Country. I'm gonna write that one down. That'd probably be a good one.
Pure Country. Huh. We'll have to. Well, you can't go back and see the comments from the live, can you?
I haven't figured that out yet. Haven't figured that out yet.
I sound like I swallowed a frog, but I really didn't.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Me and her cracked up when Doc said that. I mean, I know we get fried green tomatoes. Now that was a good movie.
Better write it down.
Write it down. Big Fish too was a good one. Too.
That was filmed in Selma, wasn't it?
No, and
Prattville.
Wetumpka.
Yeah. Lonesome Dove.
I remember that one.
Gosh, they're going so fast.
I know. Everybody seems to like Heartland, so that's going to be a good one right there.
That's a series?
Yeah. There's a series. So we have to.
The Green Mile.
That was a good movie too. Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
That was during our time when we watched movies.
We were teenagers. Or
early 20s.
Early 20s. I can't remember.
Yeah. When you bought your first house, that was our thing, is on a Friday and Saturday night, we'd rent a movie and watch it. And of course, I had to be home at a certain time, and Jason didn't have to be home because he was home already.
Right.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days.
Well, sounds like it's not slacking up too much outside.
It's not.
But it's not so bad that it's not like a gully washer kind of rain.
It's going off and on.
It's coming down, but it's not so much at one time where you... Mary Carl got tickled at me the other day. We went and put her pigeon food up and took the side-by-side. And while we were out there, it started pouring down rain. So Mary Carl says that I'm scared of rain. It started pouring. And I parked the side-by-side and got off and went in the little house area to try to wait it out. And she was like, Mama, come on, let's go. She didn't care if she got soaking wet. But I just didn't want my clothes to be drenched. And we didn't have raincoats on because, of course, it wasn't raining when we went out there. I'm not going to melt. I just don't like my clothes to be soaked.
You don't like your clothes to be wet.
And she don't care. She does not care.
She don't.
So we hid out in the coop for a minute, and it didn't slack up much. She did get the gate for me, though. When we went to drive out with the side-by-side, she opened the gate for me, thankfully.
I think some people thought I said Blackfish, which is the documentary about the killer whales.
Oh.
I said Big Fish.
Didn't Mary Carl and I watch Blackfish?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've seen it too.
Oh, Brother, We're Out There.
We've seen that one, yeah.
Oh, I'm shaking in it. I saw it.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Steel Magnolias. Oh, there's so many.
I can't watch Steel Magnolias. If it's a sad movie, I will cry like a baby.
Well, I tell you what, Catherine had sent me a message that I did not see until the next morning. She said, no matter how many times I watch Dances with Wolves, I still cry at the end. And my response to her was, I've never seen it.
I had it on my list for me and Mary Carl, but it's so long.
Well, y'all could have watched it last night because you got started early.
So long. But I can't watch any movie that like Steel Magnolias is pretty sad. But if a dog gonna die in it, no, I don't even watch it. I don't even watch it. It don't even come on my radar. If I see a movie that has a dog in it and that dog's the main character, I will Google, does the dog die at the end before I watch it? Because I cannot handle it. I won't watch it.
So speaking of dog dying, it made me think of a dog getting run over or something happening. So Mary Carl and I are going down the road the other day, and in an instant, something come off the side of the road to the middle of where my car was, literally stared me in the eye. I had time to stop. and it went back the same way it came. Do you know what it was? Well, you know what
I
it
know
was.
what it was now. You told me.
Y'all, it was a groundhog. And I have literally never seen a groundhog that up and close in my life. Mary Carl and I got home and we had to Google it because he was as big around as a butter bean. And we read that they can get up to 14 pounds. And I guarantee he was every bit of 14 pounds. But it just happened just like that. And I slammed on brakes and he just went back the way he came. And I wish he had went on across because he wanted to cross.
Right.
I wish he had crossed in front of me instead of somebody else. Oh my gracious. We met eyes and it was a sight I've never seen before. Probably will never see it again.
He was chunky.
He was chunky.
He'd been eating good.
He was big around as a butter bean.
You know what? Now that I think about that, it just dawned on me.
What?
Do you remember when we first moved here? We didn't move here. We bought here and we put the camera in the barn.
That's what that was.
We saw one.
Yep. That's what that was. I remember that now. A groundhog.
He was big.
Yes. This one was big too. Now they can be like, I think it said like 8 to 14 pounds. So one of the other is bigger, male or female. I don't know which one's the bigger one, but I bet the peach farmers don't particularly care for them because they tend to munch on roots. And
I'm not for sure what, because they're not really an issue here.
No, I've never heard of anybody having an issue with a groundhog here. Matter of fact, I didn't even know they lived here.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what they eat.
Well, we Googled it and it was roots. and things underground. And I guess they probably live in a tunnel.
I guess so.
It'd have to be a big tunnel because he was big.
He popped out of his tunnel. And
then the next day I heard on the radio something about Punxsutawney Phil and the groundhog that shows its shadow or doesn't show its shadow to indicate a early winter coming, saying that he lived in a zoo and that he was very well taken care of. And it was just a little information about that. How ironic that I just seen one the day before.
That is, that's the first thing that pops in my head when I think of a groundhog.
So when I got stopped, I sent Jason a message and I told him I almost ran over Punxsutawney Phil. And of course, I was doing my sound text, and I would think it would know how to spell Punxsutawney Phil, but it didn't. Jason said,
"She sent me a text. It said, I don't even know what it said.
It was supposed to say I almost ran over Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, but it didn't say that.
It spelled it crazy, and he sent back a bunch of question marks.
I sat there for a second, and usually you can kind of semi-decipher what somebody meant to text you, Y'all, it was the word this long, and it was
it started with a P.
Gibberish, and I was like, what in the world?
But wouldn't you think if I used the sound thing to text that it would have spelled it right?
Girl, you know our southern accent. It probably...
Well, it spelled something. And I'm probably saying it wrong anyway. I'm saying it the way I heard it on the radio the next day.
Oh, you probably are.
I hope whatever he sees this year is that winter's going to end early.
I hope so too.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Well, we hadn't had that much of a winter, but I don't
just that
care
one
for
week.
I don't care for it.
We just had that 1 week, and that's been about it.
We need to get our seeds started. We need to concentrate on growing versus.
That's right.
But speaking of growing, the garden's doing very well. It's enjoying all this rain, the turnips and the collards and the lettuce. And they said, I'm saying it right.
I was reading our brown farmers. They're telling me how to read the live stream thing. So
what, the live comments, how to read the live. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I never have been able to do that. So.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said you ought to see your closed captions. Yeah, I can only imagine. I have to actually go back on our videos. The lives I can't really do, but on the videos before I publish it, I check it for ugly words.
Well, we had some that were coming back to us saying they couldn't believe what we were saying. Or
I had where YouTube was demonetizing some of my videos.
Because they thought our language was bad. And one of them is the COG Hill Farm. They deciphered as something not totally
as a
different.
Rooster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why now I say it real slow.
Yeah.
Gotta say it
You
slow.
emphasize it.
I do.
Wonder what it comes out when I say it.
It comes out fine.
When
I'm
I
the
say,
only one.
somebody
I'm the
said I
only
need
one.
glasses. Readers don't help me sitting here because I'm too far away to use readers, but I'm,
Yeah, you're in between.
yeah,
The little in between.
I would be blurred vision.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't help with this unless I was like this,
Yep.
like I was reading. So I don't think y'all want me up in your living room. It stopped for a minute. You hear that?
Oh,
The rain stopped.
It did stop.
Okay, well, we got an empty cup of coffee. Do you have an empty cup?
I think I got one swallow left.
I tell y'all, if you saw my freeze-dried coffee, it was a hit.
Yeah.
And it works. Some people were saying I didn't show it on the trays. Well, I apologize, but it really wasn't granules. It was more like a, I don't know how to describe it. It was not what you would think. It wasn't little tiny granules. It was just kind of.
It was like,
See, you can't describe it either. It was different.
It's right there with something that's like it. Gosh, it's like flakes.
Yeah.
It's like real flakes and it's real light.
Yeah. Foamy kind of. Almost foamy that turned into flakes.
Yeah, it was real delicate
Not
too.
Foamy,
really delicate.
Just light.
Yeah.
So that worked out well. I didn't have to have my freeze-dried coffee this morning. I had regular coffee.
And it was really good.
Really good.
Yes.
Could be used in anything.
Oh, you could use it. Ice cream.
I love
vanilla ice cream would be awesome.
Anything that's flavored coffee. Even before I like drinking coffee, which I haven't drank coffee for that long. I mean, oh my gracious. When Mary Carl was born, I wasn't drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So I have only been drinking coffee for the last, say, 13 years or so. I still like flavored coffee stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'd eat coffee candy, coffee flavored ice cream,
That's
such
right.
as that, but not drink coffee. But I do now. And it's empty. Yours empty?
Mine's empty.
Well, you're going to have to make you another cup to take
somebody
to
just said they make computer glasses that are mid-range. Maybe something we check into for you.
Oh, gosh. Y'all are in trouble if I read the comments.
She won't even talk.
I
She'll
won't-
be sitting there watching the comments.
I'll be like this. Computer glasses. How about that? Well, I didn't know.
We'll have to look into that.
Okay. Well, you got to get on your way to Petals.
I do.
And I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if Mary Carl's going with you or if she's staying with me.
I asked her if she wanted to, and she was 50-50 on it, so we'll see.
We'll see. But you get to see some of our friends, and
Dude.
I'll find me something to do. I might go clean up the milk room. The cats have made it quite a mess, and it needs to be swept and mopped, and I don't know. I'll find something to get into. So hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your. Oh, look, that black cat's coming right into there.
It does.
Wonderful rest of your weekend. And we will be back here on Tuesday at 4:00. I'll have a video out tomorrow at some point, and y'all be good.
Y'all be good.